And looks like we're live. Hello, world. Hello, people out there. Welcome to this session of online questions and answers about a really cool program that Startup Wise Guys is running together with the largest forest management company in Latvia, with Latvijas valsts measure, Latvia state forests. And we're going to be talking today about the SilvaTech Accelerator program and also about the very soon upcoming hackathon to hack some challenges that exist there in the forestry industry. My name is Zane. I'm the head of marketing at Startup Wise Guys. I'll be your host today, but I have two lovely ladies. I just realized it's ladies only, right? Wise girls power, totally. So I have two amazing ladies joining me today. That's going to be giving you deeper insight and that are here to actually answer all of your questions about either the program in general or the short-term upcoming hackathon. And I will start with the introductions. And first off, I wanted to highlight Zita. So Zita is adopted wise girl. She's from our partner from Latvia State Forests, and she's the driver of this program on the other side. So Zita, a quick intro from your side, maybe a bit about your background, and also what do you think about the program so far?
Hi, Zane. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the intro. I'm the innovation manager in Latvia State Forests and currently responsible here for the acceleration program. And we are actually super excited to have it here because we think that we know how to innovate internally in the forest industry. And currently we are opening up. We are looking also for external innovations or for mixed teams together with external and internal LVM people. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be quickly enough. But Zita is hiding. She's actually been working with innovation and with startups and growth stage companies already before in her career before joining the forest industry. So definitely quite an interesting combination of background.
Yes. I'm an old school management consultant, so this seemed to be as an interesting next step. Thank you.
Yes, and she's the one who needs to survive the speed of startups while working for a large state-owned capital. How do you even call it?
Yeah, it's true. We are a company, but we are 100% owned by state Latvia. So that makes us a company that our investor or stakeholder is a Latvian state.
It's always interesting when you mix not only the corporate but also the governmental field with the startup culture. So that's quite a ride.
It is a challenge, but also I see here a huge benefits because large companies has a power, the ability to do really big things and make large changes. But still, of course, we also need to follow and learn the speed from startups and etc. So I really believe that mixing both together, we can achieve really high goals. It will be challenging. It's not easy process. Never it's easy process. But I don't see any other choice, any other possibility.
Thanks, Zita. And for those of you who are from Latvia or whenever you're visiting Latvia, you will see a lot of these yellow signs in a roadside or by beautiful forest trails that says Latvia's valsts measure. So that is the company we're working with. And what was the chunk of Latvia that actually Latvia State Forests manage? 1/5?
Nope, it's even more. Let's say one of the half of Latvian territory is forests. And one of the half of that are managed by us, which means that which is one of the fourth 25% of Latvia are under our management.
So talking about resources, data, and challenges. Awesome to have you here, Zita. And Zita will be answering more about the forestry challenges that are also part of the hackathon, and also overall, what's the goal of this program, which will last, which has already started. It will last till March 2022. But I wanted to also introduce my amazing colleague, Alona, calling in today from Spain. And she's the one who is managing SilvaTech project on our side. And she's kind of the face and the heart of the project when it comes to day-to-day operations. And she's also a proper wise girl for a very long time. So Alona, quick intro from you, please.
Yes, thank you, Zana, and thank you, Zita. So I'm originally from Latvia, but as Zana mentioned, I'm based in Spain, but still working with Latvian projects. At Startup Wise Guys, I'm more for 3 years or even longer. And I run different partnerships. And for SilvaTech, I'm the project manager from Startup Wise Guys side. And I'm also excited to support Latvian State Forest on this journey from startup ecosystem side. And it's been already a journey for us because it's not the first event that we're organizing. I will mention a bit later what we have done and what is ahead of us.
Thanks, Alona. And yeah, she has been playing with different hats and internally in Startup Wise Guys, but we have handed her over 100% to this project, which kind of believing that she's the right person to do it, and I think the reality shows it. Quick technical reminder before we deep dive into what SilvaTech is about and start throwing some questions is that you can interact with us through the comments. So either you're watching us on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube. If you write your questions in the comments, we will introduce them in our conversation and try to answer. If there's any question that doesn't get an answer throughout the live, we will just write it in the comments. And also, if you are wanting the background to read a little bit more about this project, you can also see already now on the screen, silvatech.eu is the address of the project's website. And you can already, I know startups do it, they're so fast, they're so quick. So if you're curious, then just go and check out the information also that's on the website, which probably will be rather explanatory. And I need to already look into. We have already questions dropping in, and I just want to say hi to everyone already watching. Hi, Arsen. You're saying hi, girls. Interesting to listen to you at the online meeting. Well, on site hasn't returned so fully, but yes. Cater says Startup Wise Guys rocks. Thank you. Always good to have some fans out there. Lena, thanks for tuning in. And yes, Arsen, I see you are already asking a question about Armenia. So I would say let's drop it in a bit later in the conversation. And let's kick off the introductory part. Overall, so SilvaTech, just to give you a bit of high level intro, it's a acceleration program that we are running together, as I already said, with Latvia State Forests. It is not investment program, so it's mostly aimed at testing, piloting opportunities with the forestry industry, and also with Latvia State Forests as a client, and also accelerating together with Startup Wise Guys on the way in different phases. Program already kicked off in summer, but as I'm not the one running this program, I will actually give the floor to my colleague Alona to explain a little bit how the program is set up and also how far we have gotten.
Yes, thank you. So the program consists of 4 big stages. First one is ideation workshops. Second is hackathon. Third is pre-acceleration program. And the last one is growth accelerator. And depending on startups' maturity, they can join at any stage. So if you are more early stage, then the better way for you is actually to join now to participate at the hackathon and then later be invited to the pre-acceleration program. Like middle maturity startups that already have MVP but need more support and more work, they are going to be invited to pre-acceleration program. And already mature startups that have revenues, that have products, they will be invited to the last stage. And now we have finished it already. First stage, what was ideation workshops. We had 4 events. Some of them were internally only, where Latvian State Forest representatives pitched their ideas, and we also helped them to formulate challenges that are published on the website that you can see also there. And if you think that your solution can solve these challenges, please apply, because this is what we're looking for. And actually, some internal teams were formed who are going to continue working. And there were also events where only external partners participated and they pitched their external solutions and their offers. And now we are in the process of matchmaking internal and external teams to invite them to the hackathon. And also we keep open doors for people that haven't participated in ideation workshops but still want to join the hackathon.
Thanks, Alona, for the overview on how the program is happening. Just to remind you, so the program is open for both very early stage teams or even at hackathon phase, just to people who are curious about forestry or have a specific expertise and want to join in the teams that are still forming. So that is still possible. And Alona, could you remind us when is the deadline for the hackathon applications?
It's this Friday.
Oh my God, no more time. So talk.
Yes.
The clock is ticking. But however, the applications for overall programs. So for example, if you are a later stage startup that already has a product that is that could be either that is for forestry industry, matches some of the challenges that Latvia State Forest has put forward for the hackathon, or simply you want to test if what you're building could also be applied to forestry industry and test it through collaboration with Latvia State Forest, you can also enter the program a bit later stage. So if you're early, now is the time till Friday and participate in an online hackathon. And if you are later stage, then keep an eye and apply for the program overall. And the information you will find on the website. But as I said, usually those who know Startup Wise Guys know that normally programs are the ones where we invest and then we accelerate. In this case, the value proposition is a little bit different, and it is the access to, as you heard, 1/4 of Latvia's land and a large company with data and resources. So Zita, I wanted to give a floor to you a little bit to explain the Latvia State Forest side of this project, kind of why it was kicked off, and also what do you expect out of it? What would be the perfect outcome next year in spring?
Okay, thank you. Remind me the questions if I talk too much, please. Okay, so those who doesn't know Latvian State Forests so well, I would like to point out that we have let's say 5 business units, from which the most and the most important is silviculture. So we plant forests, we maintain the forests, and we also manage the tree. Cutting the tree and delivering that to our clients. But what is important is that we are work organizers, which means that there are at least 7,000 plus external workers who work in other companies that are our suppliers, our cooperation partners. So we are the management company. So this is one. As I said, the main business is silviculture. We also have seeds and plants division, which means that every year we produce up to 60 million young seedlings for the forest. Half of that stays in Latvia, half of that goes to other countries. We are also in mining, sand and gravel business. We have recreation and hunting services. And one of the latest, let's say, corporate spin-offs is LVM Geo platform, which is geospatial information technologies that helps in our management, daily management, and also other clients, other large companies who's also found that, hey, this is actually a cool stuff. Geospatial GIS technologies are the new way how to manage large projects. So these are our 5 businesses. And when we thought about the innovations and verticals, we understood that well, we do have drone fleets. We are interested more in drone technologies. We do have pretty high digitalization. We are more interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning things and other technologies that can help to do our work more effectively. And we have defined also thematic verticals, which is robotics, sensors, GIS, drone technologies, interactive education, and entertainment technologies regarding the forest, and other thematical verticals. Well, where we see that there is a place or room for innovation, and yeah, so that was behind how we designed the acceleration program. So any innovation that hits our business segments and thematic verticals could have a chance. And also I see the question about LVM managing only state-owned forests. do we provide forest management also for other forest owners? No, we do not. We actually we are focused to just the state-owned forests, state-owned forests. Other half of Latvia's forests are managed by private companies, private sector.
Yeah, but just to compliment on this, also things that probably you can solve together with Latvia State Forest, probably a higher chance that others from the forestry industry also can be receptive to it, or you can at least test it here with a large volume, right? And just to kind of clarify that, I love how Zita, you threw all of those technological terms out there, and I just to simplify it, if you think that Latvia State Forest is all about trees, then you're really wrong.
Nope.
And there's probably way more technology already today involved in what you do, right?
Yeah, that's true. And also, what is important is that here, also in the SilvaTech program, we are talking about forest industry, and well, technically not only about forest industry, because we can't forget the mining, recreation, and seeds industry. But we have to remind that if we take our geographical area in the world, there are plenty of forests in Canada, in Sweden, in Finland, in Russia, in Latvia, in Poland, that also meets the same challenges that we have. Of course, these challenges differs, but the market is pretty large. And also, if we talk about technologies here, we have to take into account also the multiplication possibilities that these products could be interesting also for other countries, other segments, other markets too.
Yes, I also wanted to support Zita on this point, because already talking with some external startups, we start to receive questions, and this is also what we explain them, that if you manage to adapt your technology for Latvian state forest needs, and doesn't mean that they are going to be the only client for you, and there are wider possibilities abroad.
Thank you, ladies, for the clarifications. And I already see that we have quite a lot of questions coming in. And I would want to, before we jump into our prepared questions, actually address some of those. And I see that Sultan Eileen Fesley is asking, is it all about B2B startups? So if we kind of rephrase it, is who is eligible for the program and for the hackathon? Alona, maybe you want to take the first answer, and then Zita, you can join in.
Yeah, shortly, I think audience is prepared that if they're a startup wise guys, usually it's B2B SaaS. Not in this case. We're not limited to SaaS, definitely. We already have a lot of solutions that are IoT related hardware, or even pure scientific researches at the moment. So there is no SaaS whatsoever. And also taking into account that Latvian State Forest is a governmental organization, it's automatically B2G, I would say. But yes, we are now welcoming different types of companies, and also different types of maturity of the companies.
Zita, anything to add on this?
Currently, no, thanks.
Yes, awesome. So I will continue with this eligibility, and I already see that Arsen was asking us a question as the first one. So you get it, like badge for the first question. You are asking, you're saying that you are from Armenia and want to see whether you have any options for growing startups from Armenia. Quick answer from my side: even though the program is kind of geography agnostic, you should have interest to innovate together with Latvia State Forests. So Latvia. Ladies, anything to add on this?
No, you're right, Zana. That's true. Because we are looking for solutions for Latvia State Forests, define challenges or solutions that could be also implemented in other fields, but the interest should be also from our side. So I do not see any problems in growing startups from Armenia. That's cool. This is an international program. So what we need to remind is that yes, we would ask how the solution, the technology, the product would be relevant to Latvia state forests. So what are the cooperation possibilities? So these would be the questions that would pop up during the pre-acceleration and acceleration stages. But no, there's no limitation. We are an international program.
Yes, thanks for this clarification. And also just to remind, the program is happening in English, and it is happening mostly online. So at least right now, we are also aware of the restrictions and also the difficulties to travel. So basically, especially in the early phases of the program, you're very welcome to call in from wherever you are, as long as you can make the time zones work for you. Even that is not an issue, because in our current batch that is graduating this week, we had 4 Latin American teams that were calling into a program managed from Estonia. So hey, the world is our oyster, and so is yours. So if you want to innovate together with the forestry sector and with Latvia, then definitely the program is open for you.
Yeah, and just to add the little fun fact, so this COVID period also trained all of us to have the timelines, and so. For example, one of the top forest industry conferences are held in New Zealand, which means that normally you have to stay awake the whole night to hear the latest innovations. So, yep, this is a side effect of our let's say online and hybrid environment right now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So at least we have covered the geography. We have covered the B2B, B2G, B2C part, and as you can see, we're still kind of rather flexible, at least in the early days of the program. Alona, maybe before we jump into kind of hackathon and other kind of the challenges that we are tackling, maybe you could quickly go over the pre-accelerator and growth accelerator phases that we're still that are the next steps in the program. And maybe that also clarifies some of the questions that are already popping up also in the social media about kind of how the program is set up.
Yeah, sure. Good question. So pre-acceleration program is going to start mid-October and finish in the beginning of December this year. It's an 8-week program. Every week we'll have a topic focusing on specific theme. For example, we will start with idea validation, with prototyping, pitching, but we also have such topics as finance, investment, and how to work with the governmental or corporate institution in our agenda. And the program runs on the platform where people have access to watch pre-recorded videos and materials. And every week there is also a live session happening. For example, we will have design thinking and prototyping workshops, and also mentoring sessions with Latvian state forest representatives and other mentors. So basically, if we talk about how much time you should spend on it, it's on average 5 hours per week. 2 of them are for the live session, and the rest is for watching videos and working on your tasks. But it depends very much from team to team, because some of them are just participating in live sessions. Some of them are very diligently looking through all the additional sources and spending like 100 hours and sleepless nights to prepare the best product. So then it's up to the team. And yes, it's again free of charge, equity free. And then after pre-acceleration program, we'll have December to pre-select startups or other external partners that we would like to invite to Growth Accelerator. Growth Accelerator starts mid-January, finishes by the end of March, so it's already next year. And there we'll have more advanced topics and more active participation is required. For example, we will have sales workshops, investment workshops, matchmaking activities, Latvian state forests, Google Design Sprint Week, and Market Research Week. So there, if you join there, then you will need to spend definitely more time than 5 hours per week. And also, this is where the more work with Latvian state forest starts, discussing the cooperation models and other opportunities.
Thank you, thank you, Alona. So as you can hear, there's still quite a lot of activity and also acceleration ahead of us, and the project is kind of like taking its full, like we're starting to press the gas pedal right now with the hackathon. I see another. Question popping in from anonymous. Was it LinkedIn user? Yes. Maybe you can also clarify if we are not answering exactly what you're asking, but the question is, what would you need to overcome the capacity gaps, and that this sounds less about technology challenge and more about stakeholder management and process design. Quick note. Of course, Zita can comment on the capacity, but I also wanted to say that we will just in a second, as a next question, deep dive into the specific challenges. And trust me, you will see that there's so much more about technology than stakeholder management there. And also that's why the program is set up the way as Alona was describing, that it's very kind of based on the stage that the startup or the team actually is. And also there will be a whole separate work around the collaboration models. And yes, in some cases it might mean more already prepared product adjustment, but in some we actually expect absolutely pure, full-blown, raw innovation, very much based on technologies. So Zita, maybe a quick comment from you on the capacity side.
Yeah, thank you, Lat. I will answer from this perspective. I've been in both sides. In the large company as an employee and innovation manager, and also on the other side as a startup or business consultant, or involved in small and medium-sized companies, which means I understand the speed in both sides. And yes, when talking with large companies, capacity problems or challenges will be always there, because it's a large, really large ship with the existing processes, with existing priorities, and startup wise teams would also support me in the challenge to get a meeting within 2 weeks time. So we really need to plan in upfront, and so yes, when we take a look to the capacity gaps, that's true. And when we thought, how can we do that? What we can do with the capacities, with possibilities to answer and to lead, we came to the conclusion that without priorities we can't do anything, because today there is one priority or one thing that is interesting and coming in. Does it fit to our needs? Can I take our colleagues' time from existing project and work on this? Not always. And to solve this challenge, we also agreed to define our innovation challenges, which are on our table right now this year, next 2, 3, 5 years, and that might also ease a little bit the communication with us, because outside startups would know what is important for us now. For example, if an external startup comes and for example talks about the textile industry, this is one thing that might not be important for us now. But if we're talking for robotics, for young stang trimmering, for about GIS technologies, this would be completely different openness and accessibility to our people. So that's why I let you, Zane, introduce our challenges, but that was the reason why we agreed that there should be a focus what is important for us now.
I also wanted to comment. Yes, I think SilvaTech program also helps with it, because this is the time when people actually dedicate their time to join the sessions, to listen to external pitches, to participate in hackathon. And as Zita mentioned, if someone just randomly pops up, it's very difficult to organize. But this program was planned way in advance, and Latvian State Forest employees are informed that there is importance here, and they know what to expect. So this is a good time when to pull all the external offers and see how we can work with them.
Thanks, Alona, for the comment. Yeah.
I'd like also to add that although many of there would be startups or innovations that are not there, not prioritized yet, but that means we still are observing. There are some fields, some thematic fields that we are interested in. We do not have nor projects nor direct interested now, but we are observing and monitoring what happens in innovation. For example, in let's say GIS or sensor or AI technologies. This is also something that we continue monitoring.
Awesome. I guess is the moment that I can take back the mic, and thanks, ladies, for going deep on this question. The question was really good. If there is a follow-on question, please use the comments and ask, as we were not sure if we're tackling the right right answer. But basically, one more thing that I wanted to add before the challenges is also that that there has been a lot of internal process already on the Latvian State Forest side, and majority of the challenges put out there actually have an owner internally. And I would, since I'm using this as an advertising break, it's like a shortcut to get through to them. And as Alona rightly said, people have dedicated capacity to this program, and basically there are experts in the field who have come up with these challenges that they see on a daily basis. So if you are especially reacting to the challenges put on the hackathon, for example, website, then you can be sure that there's somebody on the receiving end that actually will deal with you, that will be your contact point, and with whom you can already in the early days of the program calibrate what you're building. And even if you, for example, are not selected to go through the rest of the phases, as in the Growth Accelerator will be working only with maximum 10 teams, I would say that it's still a great way to get actually hands-on feedback from a potential client. And God knows startups need to do that, right? And talking to your customers and getting these insights is extremely important. And anyone who has tried in any difficult industry to cut through the noise and actually get the decision makers on the other side would know that it's not that easy. And if you just knock on the door, most likely it might not happen, or it might take you 6 months. And right now, if you apply till Friday to a hackathon, you might get the chance to actually talk to the people who can instantly tell you if you're going the right or the wrong direction. I will stop the advertising here, and let's jump into those challenges. So if you go to the SilvaTech tech website, you can also read more about the hackathon. You just need to click on the upper navigation. I'm also peeking in, so because I don't know all of the challenges by heart, but basically, if you go there, you will see already many of them listed. And just to kind of give you some insights, the spectrum is very wide. For example, there is one of the challenges. If I'm not mistaken, Alona, we still don't have a team that is full-blown 100% ready to tackle it, is about how to strengthen the internet signal in rural areas. Do you maybe want to comment on that one a little bit?
Yeah, so regarding the internet signal improvements, we have a representative from Latvian State Forest. So there is a team of business development leads, I would say, that are looking for IT and other technical support that would like to try and solve this challenge. Also, one that is still open is virtual fence. And there are people that are working with young stands and in silviculture that can support and provide feedback what kind of virtual stand can be a good fit and what cannot. And other challenges, some of them already have an external partner with whom they're going to work during the hackathon, but it doesn't mean that there can be more, because you can join with your team for the same challenge and then receive support from Latvian State Forests in terms of mentoring. Maybe they will not be able to work with you through all the 48 hours, but they will definitely find time at least to see your solution and provide the feedback on it. And yes, we are talking a lot about these challenges, but if you have other ideas that are related to forestry, but not particularly solving these challenges, please apply, because we have several ideas already, but we are ready to expect more and onboard more.
Okay, and I would also like to add that one more challenge, which is also pretty cool, assessment of peat layer thickness, which is really a problem actually in silviculture, because all the roads that goes into the forest and out, whenever you go, it's important to understand what is under the ground. And currently, we have tested, we have done some short research about can it be done, but we haven't found any answers. So still, also SilvaTech also helps to pick out maybe there are technologies or innovations or new approaches. How can we solve problems that we haven't thought yet? And that's also another cool business opportunity for startups, for teams, for commercialization teams and others.
Thank you for joining in.
Also, what I noticed already working with external startups, sometimes their current solution can be addressed to different niche. For example, they can work with cargo management or other projects, but it can be actually adjusted to the forestry challenges. And it's just a matter of talking to Latvian State Forest and identifying what exactly they can track and how they can track it, and how technology can be adjusted, and calculate, I don't know, the costs and the time, and then discuss. Because yes, when we look for some challenges, when we try to find exact solutions, they may not be there. But if we try to broaden our spectrum of solutions that we can work with, then there are more possibilities.
I'd like to give an example. Zana, do we have time? Cool, thanks. For example, weeding. Weeding robots are pretty well entering the market in the agriculture segment. But what we know in forestry people, agriculture comes first, and then what's possible in agriculture might be moved to the forest environment, because forest environment is pretty aggressive. Well, it's not aggressive. It's calm and beautiful and cool when you go for recreational needs. But when you have to drive through or do some works or some automatization, it's pretty tough. There is no internet. The GPS works good, but the precision could be even better. And also, when you have to move through the forest land and slopes, then that is usually a challenge. So this is one use case. We are interested in weeding, robotics, maybe some lessons from taking over some lessons from the agriculture. And also, what is interesting is we have observed that in many cases, not only in forestry, also in other industries, military goes first and then goes the civil segment. This is also a cool thing, because if you take the forest environment, this is also in many cases it's a battlefield for the military objects too. So if you have technologies that is working in military segment, maybe let's take a look. Maybe it's time for the civil sector too. And also regarding artificial intelligence and algorithms and image recognition, well, we have a large remote sensing innovation group, which is also monitoring and trying to work with geospatial technologies, remote sensing technologies. There are also many use cases that could be applied also here. So yeah, the examples are I could talk hours about examples.
Thank you, Zita. But I think it's great that you give tangibility to the challenges, and as you see, it's kind of super practical, technical, and I would say, knowing majority of the hackers and startup founders out there, I would say that definitely lots of interesting material to kind of try and see if you can, for example, help forest animals to move around safer, right? Using modern technologies, or to avoid thefts in certain rural areas. And again, I loved, Zita, your this kind of transition from different segments or verticals. and it's true. Of course, sometimes it's a question, where's the chicken and where's the egg? So definitely, again, this is an invitation to those startups who already have solutions or products for other industries. And if you see it possible to test them in forestry, then this is another thing that this program can help you with. I will jump into technicalities. We have a little bit of time still left. I remind to people that the comments are still welcome, and thanks for being so active already till now. That's great. I have usually when startups are already with existing clients and with existing business, they're very concerned how much an accelerator program would take time away from their business. Alona, I will shoot this question towards you. Maybe you can talk a little bit about how much time capacity a founder or team participating in the program should estimate in each of the phases that are still ahead of us.
Yes, I think I already briefly touched, but I can explain a bit more. So the next step after hackathon is pre-acceleration program. And there, on average, during the week, teams usually spend about 5 hours, but it doesn't have to be the whole team. Like if you have 10 people, 30 people working, you just choose the right teammates that you think will benefit from the program, and you shoot them to us. And they will be the ones who are going to have access and who are going to watch sessions, participate in the workshops, but it doesn't have to be mandatory, the whole team. And also very much depending on the topic. For example, if we talk about technical sessions, then there needs to be CTO or programmers or engineers, but it doesn't have to apply for all others, team members like sales representatives or even SEO if he or she doesn't want to be involved in this exact question. And the same kind of applies to the growth stage. So I mentioned that it's going to be more intense, and during this 2.5 months, there will be more activities, but depending on the week, it can be a full-time week, or there can be 1 or 2 days with the workshops. And again, depending on the topic, it's up to the team to decide who is going to participate. So I would say that yes, it depends case by case, but I believe it definitely can be combined with your everyday work, and especially if you have a dedicated team that wants to work with Latvian State Forest, so then you just take this team and send it to us.
Thank you for the explanation, and also talking. So it sounds like, oh my God, what a burden! But I want to remind you that acceleration program actually is something that should help your business regardless where your future takes you. And also the growth program is a kind of a little bit new concept for us also at Startup Wise Guys. That's something we've been cooking also for later stage startups, specifically knowing that you actually don't have all the time in the world to sit and listen to smart advices or to answer difficult questions. And this is also for you a way to kind of build a stronger team, to advance in your technologies, to really understand how you can work with the clients like Latvia State Forests. I will drop another question here in the pool. We've been talking a lot about Zita's colleagues who are going to be involved. So there's quite a large pool of people who can't wait to mentor you or guide you through this process as the owners of the challenges. But question actually to both of you, who else will be participating in the program and who else will be helping the startup teams?
I think I can start. So if we take into account the hackathon, yes, we already mentioned that there are going to be Latvian State Forest representatives who are holders or representatives of the challenges, and also other colleagues who are not holders of the challenges, but their experience can be very important for external teams. So they're going to be at the hackathon. From Startup Wise Guys side, my colleagues will be there as well, both organizing the hackathon and supporting as mentors. And we are inviting some of the mentors from our pool, but also we are looking for new mentors that have not worked with us before, because this is also a new vertical for us. And we already confirmed some of AI, artificial intelligence mentor, IT, some programmers, engineers, business developers, and also mentors that work with sustainability questions. So there's going to be a pool of different type of mentors, and we will try to cover all needs of participants as much as we can. And then continuing with other programs, with pre-acceleration program, we have already our set of mentors that we usually use. For such programs, it's not the first time we're running it. And on top of this, we'll have also specific field mentors and specific technology mentors by request of the companies that are participating.
Thank you, Alona. Zita, I'm looking at you if you have anything to add, or you'll be like, shrug.
No, I really feel like team. Alona has already answered everything. I can't add anymore.
Thank you. But basically, the bottom line is that you will have a diverse pool of mentors, and also you will be kind of matched with those that make the most sense to you. Throughout the further stages of the program, we will also look more specifically what kind of needs there are. And if you're listening to us and you fall into more mentor, not a startup or participant with an interest category, then also if you go to the hackathon website, there is a link you can press and click a button and actually drop us some information, and we will kind of loop you into the program. Quick technical update, as I think we should wrap it up in the upcoming 5 to 10 minutes. So last chance for anyone to ask us questions. I hope all of you are just looking at the website and reading the text there, so nothing more to ask. Quickly
already filling applications.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Let's see that. But I wanted to kind of quickly zoom in on the hackathon, as that's happening already next week, right? And Alona, again, throwing the ball more to you. Could you maybe quickly go over kind of how it's going to happen and with which language and so on, kind of how it technically is going to happen, and maybe what people should know about it?
Yes. So the hackathon is happening online. Official language is English. So the sessions that will be public will be held in English, but depending on your team, you can choose the language that is more comfortable for you. It can be Latvian, English, Russian, maybe even other language. I don't think we have a lot of that international participants, but basically when you are paired with your teammates, you can discuss what is the best language for work for you. And we are starting already next week. Monday, Tuesday are maybe not that active days in terms of actual work, but they are days for preparation. So those who is without a team yet, there will be opportunity to find teammates. There will be a dedicated time for team formation. Also, mentors are going to introduce themselves during these days, and we will have an opportunity for teams who didn't have a specific mentor request yet to sign up for mentors that are open for this opportunity. And then starting from Wednesday, we will already dive into the hackathon format. So it's going to be 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we'll have check-in mentoring sessions, also pitch webinar to prepare you for the final pitching, for the final demos. And final demos will be happening on Friday after lunchtime. And depending on how many teams we'll have, it will be 2 or 3 hours. So we'll see how many will survive until the end of the hackathon. Yes. So basically, we will use MS Teams as a main communication channel for all the messaging, and every team will have their own channel there to talk to mentors. But you can also choose other ways. For example, if you are a team from the same region or you work at the same co-working, you can actually join together and work physically there, but then join all the live sessions that we will organize.
Thank you, Alona, for a very detailed explanation, and also it's for those of you who already know some Startup Wise Guys people. That's a great way also to reconnect with us. We will have all this our hacker in residence, and Razvan, who is very experienced hackathon organizer, but also founder himself, will be the two people leading this, and definitely you can count on good vibes and also very kind of productive work. And also, as you noticed, Alona mentioned work days. So this hackathon will not happen over a weekend. It will be happening from Wednesday till Friday. This may be something that is not very typical in the hackathon scene and world, but as we are also working maybe a bit with more mature teams and more mature products, we kind of felt like it's fair to be using working hours, and of course also to respect Zita's colleagues. This is how we have decided to do it. Fun fact: we actually ran one of the Hack the Crisis campaign Hackforce hackathon in Latvia on working days, and it worked just fine because it was online, and also especially if you're already further down the road with your product, then maybe the challenges for you at the hackathon are a little bit different, which is still fine to kind of work on them throughout the working days. Yes, Alona.
Yes, thank you for mentioning this. And I think it's also maybe important to say that we know that hackathons are 48 hours, and some people like to work overnight. We don't limit you. You still can do it. But I know that depending on the team, you also should agree about your style of work and your internal chemistry, I would say, what hours you are able to work during the hackathon and what not, and then just adjust to your teammates.
Thank you so much for also this. Yes, we are being more and more, I would say, almost boring to a level that we're saying that actually good night's sleep makes you a better hackathon participant and makes you a happier person, probably more productive. So we will totally not be squeezing the last drips of juice out of you. But of course, again, it's up to you how you want to tackle this, and we will be evaluating also the progress throughout the hackathon as one of the criteria for the jury. And also, just to talk a little bit about this, can anybody get access and participate? I wanted to quickly note that we have decided to keep this hackathon boutique. So our sweet spot would be 15 to 20 teams. We are right now already on a decent number, right, Alona? How many are we?
At the moment, we have 12 teams. Yes, so up to 20 we can take. And yes, we are doing pre-selection. I cannot say it's super strict. So if your idea is related to forestry, you probably will be selected. But if not, if it's not relevant, that we unfortunately will not accept your application for this hackathon because it has a specific topic.
Yes, and so basically, as I said, 20 teams is the maximum, so the last spots. And also we have some participants who have come without an existing team, so for sure some will be formed on the first days. Yes, Zita?
Yes, but still, remember that this is not only about forestry. This is about forestry and silviculture, yes, about seedlings, plants, seeds and plants industry, about mining industry, also about recreation and hunting service challenges or innovations or products or technologies. Also geospatial information technologies, maybe geospatial information technologies are a huge platform. You can design products, I don't know, many market products from there. So still, not only silviculture, not only forestry. Let's remind ourselves that we have also different industries here. And I believe that also in recreation and hunting services, there are a huge amount of new ideas about interactive technologies, education, entertaining technologies that can be applied.
Yeah, I'm starting to remember how I guess you were also struggling at the early first wave of COVID when all of the Latvians were going to walk in the forest because that was allowed, and people were talking about how we need to manage capacity in the forest trails so you can actually distance from other people, right?
Yeah, but to be true, in that time, the market for the trails and new ideas of where to go, how to go, and new market for new trails just boomed. everybody wanted it to go out, and everybody wanted to do that safe and in safe and interesting way. So yeah, that's a new
So
market.
if you can't buy a countryside house when the COVID hits you, at least go to the forest.
At least go to the forest. Yeah.
Okay. I think let's wrap this up. I hope we have answered your questions. If you still have some last ones, then drop them in the comments, and we will reply in writing as we are wrapping this up. Alona, maybe on that kind of last note, you could remind us deadlines that people should know of. So for hackathon applications and also for the full program, kind of when is the last moment if it's already a later stage startup? When is the last moment to apply?
So for hackathon, deadline is this Friday, September 24th, right? So last days to apply for the hackathon. If you are a bit more mature, or if you, I don't know, for some strange reason don't like hackathons, so you can apply after the hackathon. And to get invited to pre-acceleration program, you should be on our radar before October 8th, because this is the approximate date when we will start send invitations to pre-acceleration program. And for more mature teams to be able to join the last stage, the growth accelerator, it's by the end of this year. Of course, the sooner the better, because we need to also evaluate you and probably have some calls and discussions with our colleagues at Startup Wise Guys and also with Latvian State Forest. But the end of this year is the final deadline.
We always see this pattern that on the last day we receive this bulk of applications. So don't do that to my team. I don't want them to spend Christmas and also Zita's team to be evaluating your startups. And definitely, as we mentioned, the spots are limited. We intend to work with maximum 10 teams at the later stage. And also just to note, there's also internal teams that are fully made out of Latvia State Forest employees that are participating in this program. We see it as a great mix to actually have the internal teams and kind of the internal innovation, also the external and mixed one working together. But that means also something else. Spots are even more limited because we have a few good teams already developing internally within Latvia State Forests with internal forces. So don't make us wait. You might lose the train. Zita, any last words before we switch off?
Well, I think that this is a huge experience, huge adventure, where we learn all the way, and also in each sides, because well, I think we're just facing these two large industries: forests, innovation ecosystem that is already there, and let's do that together. Let's try something new, and let's do the thing that everybody has talking about that you should do. So let's give it a chance.
Let's rock and roll. Awesome. Thanks, Alona. Thanks, Zita, for joining us here today. Thanks for everyone listening and then watching us. Thank you for your questions. One more time, silvatech.eu. You can see the website link. All of the information that you didn't hear today should be available there on the website. And the sooner you apply, the faster you get into internal, loop. So we can figure out where do you fit the best in the program, and can start already giving you feedback on your ideas or products. Thank you so much, and see you at Hackathon. Bye-bye, everyone.